all, yeah. The people wishing to form a corporation usually must file documents that state the purpose and makeup of the organization, the articles of incorporation. Now, after the documents are approved, a government official typically issues a certificate that permits the corporation to exist. In the United States, all companies that are incorporated under U.S. law are considered corporations. In most other countries, however, the term corporation is usually only to describe large companies. Now, these articles of incorporation, yeah, um, I have a real big problem with no one, yes, wanting to enforce the laws. Now, why don't you get me the articles of incorporation of the various clients of those that are advertised in chambers? Yes, as being the professionals, right, that represent the interests of their clients. Yes, because I have not been able to get my interests represented. See, I've sent 2,800,000 emails, right? And the idea was, well, we'll just obstruct him from having any legal representation. Yes. We won't acknowledge his rights or the rights of his family, right? My sons are in the wrong grades. My state issued identification has been changed. You've alleged that I committed crimes numerous times when I had no involvement in anything criminal. And then for some reason, this idea of incorporation, yes, is not important to the corporations that employed the attorneys that I emailed today. Yes. Now I realize, yes, that their bread and butter, yes, is dependent upon corporations. And every attorney in every law firm that advertises, yes, how good they are, yeah, in the chamber, yes, they all are personally legally liable for any knowledge of the corporations. Now, let's say we looked at the retainers, yes, of all of those in the chamber, that said, well, we are retained by a corporation to represent them in various legal problems that they have. Yes, and I'd call them problems. Yes, but I'm having some problems with malicious harassment. Yes, I'm having problems with the state law. Isn't that right, Governor? Yes, necessary to petition for a protection order. Yes, where I give law enforcement, yes, the actual expungement order of my arrest that took place on Guam. Yes, I give them the law that says that forgery, yes, is a crime. Then there's the false reporting of crime is a crime. Yes. And when I inform law enforcement, no one enforces the laws. So these laws that were written for those citizens, and I'm one of them, are not being enforced because they don't want to get sued. Now, let's say you're a law firm that represents a corporation that has an article of incorporation in any state of the United States of America. You have a legal obligation to your corporate clients, yes, that anytime you do know that the law is not being enforced, ooch, it does affect your corporate clients that you represent. Now, I might not be your client, but I'll find out every corporate. Now, which individual, yes, thinks that you can be on retainer, yes, and and represent an article of incorporation in any state of the United States and not be liable for not, yes, informing your corporate client that there's a refusal to enforce state law. Yes, there's a refusal to enforce my expungement. There's a refusal to enforce hate crime laws. Yes, the refusal to enforce the United Nations jurisdiction of the marriage license. Yes, then there's the refusal to acknowledge the fraud of the protection order. Yes, let's go ahead. Now, for those that represent corporations, I'm going to hold you liable for not protecting your client. Now, let's say you got a lawsuit today. For all of those that I email where I inform you of forgery, yes, fraud, right, kidnapping, ooh, falsification of state identification, yes, malicious harassment, vexatious court proceedings, yes, conflict of interest, unjust enrichment at the expense of American citizens. And then there's the fraudulent issuance of forensic evaluations. Now, you're probably wondering why I put those additional documents on that war crimes. I've been explaining to you what a nice person I am. Letters of recommendation, exactly what happened when I was at Washington Mutual. And Chase as a corporation, could you get me your articles of incorporation? When you take over, yes, you purchase another company. Let's talk about Washington Mutual. And I informed Chase that for 22 months they decided to squeeze some client. Yes, for what, maybe 25, $30,000. I do know the actual amount. I got the documentation at the time. Could you call JV Diamond? There's an executive change going on at JP Morgan Chase too. Whew. How is it, Goldman Sachs? Now, let's say, yes, one of the attorneys, yes, intentionally fucked over somebody, right, so as to screw me over because they were worried about $150,000 worth of book of business. Why don't you get me a JP Morgan Chase? See, when you take over somebody, yes, I think you are legally liable for the liabilities of that corporation. And considering the fraud that was involved, yes, there is no statute of limitations. Now, when I look at JP Morgan Chase, yes, and I look at the institutional banking system of the United States of America, just give me your articles of incorporation, okay? Go bad sack, give me the articles of incorporation.